Hello and welcome to episode 94 of my Working with Todoist series. In this episode, I want to talk to you about the 5-minute label. Now, just to give you a little history on this one, a few weeks ago, Francesco D Alessio did a short video on how he uses his labels, or maybe it might have been in his how he uses Todoist video. And I noticed that in his video he was using minutes or time as a label, as one of his labels. And I thought this is something that I've looked at before in the past, and I've never actually managed to get it working for me. But I revisited it and had a look and see how I could incorporate some kind of time label. And as I was thinking about this, I realized that I have quite a few tasks that involve just a few minutes, like less than 5 minutes to do, but are more than 2 minutes. And for those of you who follow GTD, you know the 2-minute rule. If it will take you 2 minutes or less, you do it right now. However, what about those tasks that are not really that long, but do take more than 2 minutes? And I was thinking, how can I find a way of just getting on with these tasks when I have a spare few minutes around the house or around a coffee shop or something that I might have to do on my computer that's going to take no more than, say, 5 minutes. So I created the label 5-minute label. Any other labels and any other periods of time I find is not particularly useful, because if I'm going to start creating a presentation, yeah, I might need 90 minutes, but the problem I have is, can I really focus for 90 minutes? You know, that has a lot of external factors, like how much sleep did I get, how much other work that I have to get done. But 5 minutes, there are quite often times, particularly in the evening, when, you know, I've got all my work done, it's only 9 o'clock, a couple of hours before I go to bed. Are there any tasks that I can just get on with because I'm in the mood to do something? So I came up with this 5-minute label, and today I just want to show you how I use that label in my Todoist. So let's go in and have a look. Okay, so here I am in my dashboard view. Now this is not something that I would normally apply this filter, this label. But first of all, you've got to make sure that you have the label here. So I've got here 5 mins. And at the moment I have 2 tasks in here: sort out my Starbucks and coffee beans card, and email Don asking for a link to the GTD website. Now, these are just a couple that I've put in already, but I've removed a few because I really wanted to show you how I operate this on a daily basis. So I have nothing in my inbox because I processed last night, and therefore I am free, which is really nice. But let's have a look. Let's go into my tickler file. Now in here, some of these actually don't take very long. So I've got one here, check A and B. This is above and beyond tour dates. So I can click into this. Now I use something called text expander. So I have a keyboard, a text expander for this. So I can just type in =FM, and that gives me my 5 minutes straight in. Tickler and Juna Beats 13 out. This is another album done by those wonderful boys from Above and Beyond. Again, I can click into this because I know this would take me 5 minutes, so I can go add the 5-minute task in there. Wash album and contact about lunch. Here's another 5 minutes one, so I can just type in here 5 minutes. And actually I noticed that I haven't added the tickler label there, so I'm going to add the tickler. Actually, I don't have a tickler label now because I don't need it. So save that one. So now I've got my 5 minutes in there. So let's go back to the label, and now I've got 5 tasks. Now imagine I was, you know, I've got 30 minutes or an hour left to spend during the day, and I'm thinking, what can I do? All I need to do now is open up my 5 minutes label, and I can see tasks that are going to take me roughly 5 minutes to do. They're not going to take me very long, and I can pick and select them. Now, I know some of these are date specific and won't happen until a specific date. That's fine. But like this one, email Don, I have no date in this because it could happen at any time, just when I have that moment. But this is another one which I've got in my next actions, and it's 5 minutes and it involves email. This one is probably going to get done next week. So you can hold me to task. If I show you my Todoist next week and see if I've emailed Don asking him for a link to the Korean GTD website. Okay, let's go back into the projects. Routines is something that I'm not going to change simply because they are specific and they happen anyway. But I can go into my work folder, or let's go into my home folder because it's more likely to happen. So I bought my wife a new computer for Christmas. I need to import the FES fonts, which is our company fonts, onto her computer, but that's going to be more than 5 minutes. Install Microsoft Office, that's going to be more than 5 minutes. But I've got one here. Ask Dr. Min if he would officiate our ceremony. Now, that is actually where I need to talk to a specific person. So in this case, I'm not going to do that, even though it would take less than 5 minutes, but I still need to talk to him when I next have a meeting, so that's okay. Clean up my playlist is just an ongoing thing. Review tasks were, I've got 5 minutes. Sort out my bankings, that's going to take more than 5 minutes. Here's one, set up a home project to clean out all old things that I no longer need or use. This is possibly something that I'm looking at as doing as a minimalist program, maybe in the summer. It's actually showing in my singles action. It probably should be in my someday maybe, but if I do, add the 5 minute task there, because setting up a project doesn't take long. Areas of focus I wouldn't touch because they're more likely not, these are just things that are specific set days, checklists again. So I'm not going to have very many labels with the 5 minutes, but I'm looking at this now, and there's a couple of items at the bottom there, which is email Don and set up the home project to clean out old things. These things could be done this evening if I have time. So this is just something that I realize that I can use a timed label for. And as I mentioned in the pre-part of this show, it's not something I've ever had much success with, but Francesco did kind of inspire me to have a look at it again. And yeah, I do realize that those 5 minute tasks can often get stuck somewhere and they can end up, you know, not actually happening. Another one is like looking at my next actions. Some of these may take less than 5 minutes. So I could go down here and just check and see if there's anything in here, which, as I've already checked this earlier today, I know there isn't. But I could look into my next actions list and see. Now, for those of you guys who did follow me on when I explained about my next actions list, if you can see, we're a few months down the road now and I still have less than 10 items in there. So just thought I would point that out. The rule with your next actions list is no more than 10 items in there because you don't want it to be overwhelming. Okay, so hopefully you found this this idea something that you might find useful. I mean, I know some of you guys really like to have a lot more time sessions, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or an hour. That's fine. That system doesn't work for me. But I have found this week when I've been playing with this 5 minute rule that this idea does work, and I have got quite a lot of those little tasks, meaningless tasks that they need doing, but again, they didn't really have much importance. I've managed to get quite a lot of those done using this 5 minute tag, or label. Okay, so I hope you found this useful. Please join me again in the next episode where I'll give you some more tips and tricks on using Todoist. But apart from that, I wish you all a very, very productive week, and I'll see you in the next episode.